Well,
Hello, okay, it's your metal god. How are you, my
hello,
friend?
Rob. What's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's great, great, great. Good to see you. Radio Futuro blasting out the priest and the metal. That's what we like to hear. Yeah.
That's it. We are here. Well, of course, we are here to talk about the upcoming show of Judas Priest here in Chile. We will have a new encounter with the metal gods. How do you feel about it?
So excited to come back, man. So excited. So many metal memories of trips to your beautiful country and the incredible, passionate, crazy motherfucker fans. uh, it's a thrill. It's a thrill. And it's been, what, 3 years since we came back? And it seems to have flashed by. The time seems to have just gone so crazily fast, which is a good thing, I suppose, when you realize that Priest is on its way back to see you again and reinforce when a band like Priest comes to play, it's an event, you know. I sometimes forget to say this, but it's important. It's an event. Myself and Ian in particular, we were there at the beginning of metal. We are the originators of the heavy metal scene, along with our friends, Tony and Bill and Ozzy and Geezer. But they've retired now. So when you're looking at a band that is still a relevant, working, worldwide heavy metal band, that's what Priest represents. So it's an event when you come and see us. We carry so much metal history in ourselves as a band. So the thrill of bringing all of that back to see you guys, for you to hear what we do, it's just a fantastic part of this ongoing relationship that we have with the heavy metal community of Chile.
Beautiful. It's true. You got a big story and at the same time, a very good present. And what a good year it has been for Judas Priest. You released your latest album, Invincible Shield, an amazing dose of heavy metal in its purest form. What does it mean for you to be able to stay alive and kicking ass through this album?
Well, there it is. You've said some words there, alive and kicking ass. That's what this band is doing. It's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. There is no other band out there in metal that is making these kinds of statements, and we bring that type of philosophy with ourselves. We're always thinking about the best way to represent Judas Priest at this particular moment in time. Because just recently we celebrated the 50th anniversary of Rock and Roller in 1975. And here we are decades later with Invincible Shield and the metal treasure trail of music, all those albums. We're always trying to make the best metal that we can make. And I think every band would say that, which is what you should say. But in terms of the songwriting and the performance and the attitude of the guys and the production, Invincible Shield was as probably as close to an important statement since Painkiller that I can remember. I think a lot of people were wondering, when your favorite band makes an album and then you have to wait 2, 3, 4 years for the next one, there's always anticipation. Please God, don't let the album suck. That kind of thought. Don't let your fans down. It can become a very complex type of overthinking type of place that you can put yourself. So you should be aware of who you are and what you've done and how you've got there. But at the same time, it's making the metal now, making the metal in this metal moment. And I think where we were at making Invincible Shield was a particularly strong display of relevance, that we're not holding anything back, that we're still pushing ahead, and we're still making really good metal albums.
Good. Well, we have this current lineup with Richie and Andy on guitars. They don't have an East Mission as Glenn Tipton and KK Downing were one of the most legendary guitar duos in history. So it's a big challenge to take that place. So
It's tough.
how is it
Yeah,
working with them?
it's tough. It's tough, you know. Thank you for asking about Glenn. He's a remarkable man. You know, Parkinson's is a cruel, cruel condition, particularly for musicians, particularly for guitar players who need to use their hands, because Parkinson's takes away that skill. Thank God his beautiful lead breaks and his guitarmanship will live forever with the work that he's done for Judas Priest, from Rock and Roller all the way through to the work that he did on Invincible Shield. The relationship with KK, you know, you could ask that question to any band that's had a number of changes going on. Again, I think that Ken's role, Ken's place in Priest is permanent with his guitar skills and with his writing that he did with Glenn and myself. So, you know, I wish him all the best. We always wish everybody that takes an adventure away to do other things. You can't be angry about it. You can't be bitter about it. That's putting poison into your system. You've got to let that go, you know. So the fact that Richie came in when he did, and he's doing such extraordinary work now, making Redeemer of Souls and Firepower and now Invincible Shield, alongside the bass god. Ian is playing as great and as strongly and as powerfully as he's ever done, backed with the rhythm section of Scott, who's still pulling out great things on metal drum performances. It's just a wonderful collection of really top-class metal musicians in Judas Priest. I'm still trying to do as best as I can with my voice. There are some things I can't do anymore because I've been screaming my lungs out for over 50 years. But I still think that with the encouragement that I get and the support and love that I get from the band, and primarily from the fans, I'm able to deliver the goods. So, yeah, it's nice to be philosophical and talk like this about Priest. The summation of all of that is when you see us at work in a few weeks' time on stage, you'll see all of those things that I've just talked about at its best level. You know, but bands talk all the time about their music and what they did, and it's important to do that. But the actual proof of your ability takes place when you're on stage. So that's why we have to come back and show you guys that the Priest is back and the Priest is still kicking ass.
Good. You mentioned your voice. In that sense, I don't know something. What is the most difficult song to play live for you? For example, I don't know, Painkiller. It's very demanding, something like that.
It is. But there's a kind of there's a place I get to singing that song. It's not an easy song to sing, but the way I use my voice and the way I can't describe it, but there's a way of doing that song that is easier for me to do than, say, Panic Attack. We start the show with Panic Attack. A lot of singers will tell you it's about breathing, you know, and I'm like a fucking fish out of water during Panic Attack, because the amount of breathing that needs to take place in that song. It's like sitting in a Ferrari and then turning it on and leaving, you know. It's, for me as a singer, that takes a lot of, if I think about it too much, I freak out, you know. But I'm mentally and the psychology of my brain, when I hear the intro tape and I'm standing there with the guys before the kabuki drops and all that kind of stuff, I'm going into that place I need to go to for the first 5 minutes of the show. And it's like being, you know, shut out of a cannon The human cannonball of metal god is the human cannonball. But I love it because it's a challenge, and I love challenges. I love to put myself in a place that is a little bit risky and dangerous, and just see what I can do. So that sense of adventure for me as a singer hasn't diminished. You know, I'm always curious about where I can go next with the voice.
Yeah, right. Well, Rob, our time is coming to an end. It was a pleasure to talk with you. The last thing, can you make an ID for a radio station? It's called Radio Futuro, and make an invitation
yeah.
for the people.
Okay. Please. Happy to, my friend. Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody. It's your metal god, Rob Halford from Judas Priest, and you're listening to the one and only Radio Futuro. Turn it up.
That's great. Perfect. Thank you very much. Rob,
see you soon, my friend.
In Santiago, okay?
Come and say hello. Yeah.
Okay.
Come and see me. There. Okay. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Gracias, Jorge.
Gracias, Kenny. Adiós.
Chao.